Yeah, I mean, it was so much connection driven and such like an insular society at the time. How'd you get into it? Because people that recognize you for Metro Sports before that, you were a writer for the WWE.
Yeah, so I went to the University of Missouri for a broadcast journalism degree. At the time, like every kid, I didn't necessarily know what I was going to do. Most people were going at that time. If you're in broadcast in the late '90s, you were basically looking at, hey, we're going to go to BFE Idaho for like X amount of years before you get to a decent sized market, and that's what I thought was going to end up happening. And what
Yeah.
ended up happening is I had a guy that was in broadcast with me, and he came up to me randomly, knew that I liked wrestling. I was a huge WWF fanboy when I was a child. And he said, hey, my parents live in this town called Norwalk, Connecticut, which I had no idea what that was at the time. And he said, she's a hairdresser, his mom, and she knows people that work there that make decisions. So she's going to put in for internships for me. Would you like to join me? And we'll both go up there and we'll live at my mom's house and, have a fun time there. I'm like, sure, that sounds great. Meanwhile, we enter our stuff and we put it in to get an internship, which back in the day paid zero. And I was living in Fairfield County where it was, $1,500 for a closet like 30 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
So he moves, his parents moved to Minnesota, and I asked my dad can I still go up there if I get this? And he's like, sure, very supportive parents. So I ended up getting that. And, it's things that stick out. Like they told me, on my resume, it said I was a big fan for 20 years or whatever. And they said, don't say that, don't keep that, because they don't, obviously there's a fine line between, you want people that know the product, but you also want people that aren't, like, can I have your autograph and picture? And I'm just so starstruck, so,
yeah.
So I got the job as an intern and started there in 97. So like May of 97. And I mean, so I stayed up there going back and forth and getting a full-time job up there through March of 2003. So I was there for a good part of 6 years, which me and my buddy Seth Mates, who's a really well-known writer from that time too, and he's gone on to do other things in baseball publications and everything. We argue that was you could argue is one of the most influential times in wrestling history, 97 to 03. A lot of things went down.